and welcome back to Redirecting. In this video, we are going to be talking about the spirit of giving. Many people call it sowing of seeds. I believe in the Christian church, they refer to it a lot as sowing of seeds. They say, sow a seed, sow a seed, sow a seed into their ministry. And so we are coming from a different angle of seed sowing. As a matter of fact, this is actually a continuation of something that the Most High had put on our hearts a long time ago. We actually implemented this years ago, and we want to continue it on. And this time, we want to do things a little different. I wanted to refer to it as seed sowing or sowing of seeds, SOS. SOS, get that, sowing of seeds, SOS. I wanted to refer to it as that because when we did a study on tithing, we actually did a broadcast where we were explaining tithing. We've done many in the past, but one that we did recently, there was a scripture that kind of stood out to me, especially because I didn't realize before that seeds were actually a form of tithe paying. Now, when we talk about tithes, we're not talking about money, in which we made that very clear. Okay, we made that very clear in our broadcast because you have a lot of people leaning on their congregations or assemblies or members for tithes. They're actually making it a command, telling people that they must pay tithes. And so we wanted to bring clarification to that and say, look, if you're going to ask people to pay tithes, teach it to them properly. Paying tithes is like this. It is actually like this. If you're going to pay tithes, pay it in crops, pay it in seeds, pay it in livestock, things of that nature. That is how you pay tithes. It was never meant to be money, but that is the way it's being taught because people have a desire to fleece the flock. They have a desire to fleece the flock. And so they want to tell you that if you want to pay tithes, you have to pay them money, 10% of your income. And you have those who are now trying to increase that number by telling you 20%. And I hear various ones that are stating that number is even getting higher and higher depending on what congregation you're a part of or what assembly you're a part of. But anyway, I'm not really trying to talk about tithes. I'm talking about sowing of seeds into a ministry. Now, what we are aiming to do is we want to be the seed sowers, and it is a ministry that we have already implemented a long time ago, and we just want to carry it on. We want to carry it on because here it is, family. I want to see my people more active in growing their own food, which is something we have advocated for years. Over the years, we've gotten many testimonies from various individuals, how they've started growing their own food. They've planted trees. Some have bought land. As a matter of fact, recently, there was a sister who left a message where her and her family, they've bought land, quite a few acres, and they are starting their own garden. And these kinds of things make me proud because it tells me that this work is definitely worth it. The encouragement is definitely worth it. And so what we want to do is we want to extend the seed program. Initially, we had it to where anyone could request the seed vaults that we were giving away. And then we made it for the Daughters of Zion specifically. But now we want to reopen it to not just the Daughters of Zion, but the brothers as well. Because I do remember when we first started this, there were a few brothers who sent in their requests for seeds as well. And so we were happy to give to those brothers as well because they wanted to put the work in. And I think it's well worth it, whoever wants to do this. And so as our encouragement and looking at that scripture that talked about seeds actually being tithes, a form of tithes, that really encouraged me to continue what we had already started years ago. And that is giving away of seeds. Now, initially, With this sowing of seeds, we have 10 seed vaults that we are going to be giving away. Okay, with this particular video, 10 seed vaults. And I'm going to give you a number of ways that you can contact us to let us know that you are interested. The same way that we've done it before on the site, for those of you who are the Daughters of Zion, if you go to 12 Tribes Network, 12tribesacademy.com or 12tribesnetwork.com, there is a link that says 12 dozen at the top, and you click on that link and it will take you to the place where you need to submit your information or your request for the seeds and tell us why you want the seeds and where you plan to put them. We do realize that not everyone has a lot of land, but if you have a backyard, a side yard, a front yard, a neighbor's yard, a grandma's yard, or anything like that, or if you're working with a community garden, or if you're willing to go and ask one of the local churches to allow you to utilize space on their property, then you are definitely one that we would like to encourage by sending you some seeds. Now, I must say, those of you who may live in an apartment, I'm not trying to exclude you, but we are not really wanting to send them out to anyone who can't put them to use right now, because seeds after so long can become not viable. And so we don't want them as, just as a souvenir on the shelf. We want someone who's actually going to use them. Even if you have to go and utilize someone else's space, that is what we are looking for, because we want to encourage our people to really look into being self-sufficient as much as possible. And again, I was encouraged to continue on when I saw the scripture about tithing. We, over the years, have given away many seed vaults, and many of you, some of you have even sent pictures of the food that you have grown, and it really, it did something to me on the inside, because we have to understand, and this is a whole other video I can do, food is life that we must take care of. The food that we grow, that is a life. A cucumber is a life that we must take care of. As long as it's on that vine, we have to nurture and treat that vine right so that it can produce the proper fruit or vegetables for us. And so that is why it makes my heart feel glad to see that many are just jumping on the bandwagon and seeing the importance of this. It's a number of different reasons. This is not a hobby, family. This is because of necessity that I do these things. I believe that it's very necessary for us all to learn the art and the skill of growing our own food. The economy is getting very, very wobbly right now. The dollar is shrinking fast. And then there are so many other issues as well. Inflation is decreasing the value of the dollar, and the dollar is on its way out. So we don't need to wait until the bubble burst to try to do something about our issues. We need to do what we can while we can, so that our families are not caught off guard. And so I am so grateful to be re-implementing the seed vault giveaway, not just to the Daughters of Zion, but to the men as well, to those brothers who are interested in starting their farm or increasing what they already have. We definitely would prefer to send these to people who have a need for these, not someone who could really afford to just get them. We would rather help out those who may be strapped for cash and could really use this type of assistance with these seed vaults. Now, later on in the season, it is our goal to give away a bigger package to a couple of families. Now, these packages will include, and I'm not going to show it in this video. Maybe I can, or maybe not. Maybe I can get the images from where I purchased these, but there are these grow trays. And of course, the grow bags. Those of you who follow my channel, you've seen the grow bags that I've referred to as getting your seeds started. And then also the grow bags that are actually used as planter pots. There are a number of different grow bags that we use. But I actually want to put together a really, really nice package for a couple of families where it will include seeds. these grow bags, the starter trays. These trays are awesome. The ones that I'm referring to, when I got them, I was so excited. These trays make it so you can actually get your seeds started in the colder months, in the winter time, so that you can get a head start on the season for spring. They make it so that you can get a head start for spring, because many times if you don't have a greenhouse, you literally have to wait until the temperature will allow you to get seeds started, and then you can plant them outside. But these things are like what I would call a miniature greenhouse. And some of them have more than 100 cells. Some of them have more than 60 cells. And what that means is that's 70 or 100 different items that you can plant or get the seed started early on. I would suggest that if you're going to do it, that make sure that a whole row would be dedicated to a particular type of plant. You don't want to have it to where you have 72 different plants from different species in there, because that can be very confusing, especially if you're not labeling them. But I would definitely say to dedicate a whole row to a certain type of seed. Okay, for instance, if you're going to plant cucumbers, make that whole row nothing but cucumbers, and so on and so on and so on. But anyway, I just wanted to do this video to reintroduce the program to not just the sisters but the brothers too, so that you can, get your feet wet as well, brothers. We are calling this Sowing of Seeds. Okay, the Daughters of Zion, the 12 dozen is what we called it, and the dozen stands for Daughters of Zion Essential Needs. Okay, and with that, we were giving or sending gift cards to a number of our sisters who may be on fixed income, single mothers, or those who just had a need. And so we kind of took it from there to providing seeds for those who wanted to grow food for their family. And initially, we had already been giving away seeds to brothers and sisters. So we are re-implementing where the seeds are not just going to the Daughters of Zion, but the brothers as well. We are including the brothers back in that. I know I've repeated that several times, but I just wanted to make sure that that was very clear, that this is not just a 12 dozen or Daughters of Zion project, but the Sowing of Seeds ministry is where we would like to send seeds to our people, because we love you, family, and we want to see you be able to do what you can for your family. We have some trying times ahead, and there's nothing more rewarding than being able to go grocery shopping in your own yard. You need some lettuce, go outside. You need some tomatoes, go outside. You need some cucumbers, go outside. You see, and we do know that, we do realize that some of you may not have a whole lot of space, but believe it or not, and I encourage all of you, look at some of the videos on YouTube where there are people who are taking like a quarter of an acre, and that's in all, where their house is there and their garden, a quarter of an acre, and they are growing so much food to where they're actually producing income and food. And so that is just to encourage you that it can be done, family, that we've got to be willing to get our hands dirty. Get out there. Sometimes you have to endure the heat. It is what it is. There's not going to always be a comfortable day to work on. If you can, get up early in the morning and do as much as you can, and then come back out later on in the afternoon. But by all means, we've got to do something, family. And if you are limited on space, container gardening. Look up container gardening, and you will be able to see some of the best things that can be grown in containers. Cucumbers, lettuce, even tomatoes. I mean, there are a number of different things. Squash. So many different things can be grown in containers if you are limited on space. And so we just wanted to reintroduce this to you, family. Sowing of Seeds ministry, to where we are going to be giving away seeds. We know that many times people are always asking, hey, sow into our ministry, give to us, give. People are always doing that, okay? But we believe that it is more blessed to give than it is to receive, and we certainly appreciate those who support our ministry. We appreciate that, but we do believe that giving is something that's very important for all of us. We instill that in our children, that is a blessed thing to give. And I could do a whole other message or lesson on giving. Giving is not always money either, family, okay? But I could definitely do a whole other lesson on that, because it is something that is very important that we understand. And if we have this mindset, we would be further along as a people. Some of the stories that I could share about giving will they will touch you. You see, they are very touching stories. And maybe at some point we will cover that topic again. But I just wanted to let you all know to look out for the upcoming video where we're going to be giving away the bigger packages. But in this video, those of you who are interested in the 10 seed vaults that we are giving away this time, I kind of cut myself off earlier. I told you to go to the 12 Tribes Network site, but I also encourage you you can go to the Watchman Reports site as well. Watchman Reports right now, since we reinstituted our community, I think it's been almost 2 years since we started the new community, because our old community went down because of a number of different bugs that were happening in the software. But since we started with the Ning Network, it's been close to 2 years or more, perhaps. I can't pinpoint the exact date, but within that time, there's over between 3,000 and 3,500, something like that, members that have joined the site, between 3,000 and 3,500. But when we first started off, a lot of people were forming groups and actually meeting locally. And so we encourage you to even do that as an option. If you have to, go to the Watchman Reports website. If you're not already a member, try to link up and nudge some of those local groups that did form and they just kind of fell off. Nudge them, say, hey, let's get back together. Let's consider doing some things together as a family. And you'd be surprised, family, what we can do if we work ahead. If we work together and we forge ahead and we be a blessing to one another. That is what we want to do. We want to be a blessing to you all because we love our people, we love our family, and we know that there are trying times ahead. And there have been times where me personally, I used to cry over thinking about what is going to happen with a lot of our people, a lot of our family and our friends when things just go haywire. And it's kind of like the Most High says, don't worry about those things. Don't fret over those things. Just trust me. Do what you're doing. Encourage those who will be encouraged. Pray for them who are still kind of sitting on their hands and not moving. Just pray for them that they will get with the program. And as long as I do these videos, I see and I know that that is an encouragement to you, family, as well. I want to encourage you. Don't take this information lightly. Do what you can while you can, family. And this is just a little bit that we're doing. We're just trying to continue to encourage. Like I said, this is a continuation of our seed giving program that we started a long time ago, family. We want to continue with that, and we want to actually step it up a bit with the whole package. I don't know what all is going to be in the package. I named a few things. I was just kind of looking at the things that I had. I'm not ready to use those little trade or seed starter trades yet, only because it's not fall yet. You usually use those when the weather is about to change and get cold and you're trying to protect plants. Those are not really for the summer because you would literally cook those plants in there. These are for the colder days when you're trying to get your seeds started earlier. But when I was looking at all of those, I was so excited. I said, man, I want to give some of these away to people. And it just thinking about gifting some people with those had me so excited. I already knew that I could do the seeds. Okay, we're doing the seeds. We've already been doing that. Now I want to take it a step further, and I want to give away some of these, and I want to include a number of different things in the packages. Not just seeds and not just the grow bags, but other things as well. So I'm going to look around when that time comes. I hope to have a nice little goodie bag of items for some of my brothers and sisters that I want to just give to you all because I love you, family. On many different occasions, I've expressed how the enemy tried to do something to me, family. When I was a child, there was a bishop or elder who he prayed and he said he looked at me, he said the Most High put a spirit of love on me. And I've always felt this for my people, even since a very young age. And what the enemy tried to do, he tried to use the rottenness of the hearts of some to just try to X that out. He tried to cause attacks from people and all kinds of things to cause me to lose sight on how much I love my people. How I used to pray for my people, and I had a cousin who used to call me Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, because I used to cry for my people. As a child, I've always been very aware that my people were being mistreated. And I remember a sister years ago, she had left a comment on my channel. She said, Sister Deborah, I bet if you had the power within you to deal with these people that are hurting our people, I bet you would defend us with your life. And I'm paraphrasing what she said. She actually said something else that was similar to that, where I would definitely be one of those who is ready to do what I had to do for my people. But I know that Yah, he's going to handle those who have been enemies to his people. He is going to deal with that. But I appreciated the fact that this sister knew and understood that that was the depth of my love for my people. Even before I knew who we were, I've always had this thing where you better leave my people alone. I've always had that. Don't you mess with my people, you see. But the enemy tried to cause me to he tried to put a bitterness in my heart because of attacks from my people. Now, what Yah has done with me and all of that, and I didn't intend to talk this long and to go into all these things, but what he has done with me and all of that, he gave me a message years ago that enemies come in black and white. And so he wanted me to be able to separate the fact that, yes, it is okay to love your people on the level that you love them, but you also have to be careful, because the very people that you are pouring out all of this love to will be the very ones to stab you in your back. He wanted me to be aware of that, while at the same time knowing and realizing and understand, don't cut it off. That was something that was put in you. Let the love continue, because that is something that was put in me. And I'm not going to let no devil in hell, black or white, cause that to leave, you see. But it just helps me to be able to discern more that some of our people you can't deal with. It is what it is. If you find that you can't deal with them, depart from them. Keep away from them. And be very careful when dealing with them. But for those who have not been that way and who are not that way, let the love continue. And that is what I'm doing, family. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, I will say shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel. And also comment, share, like, and subscribe.